What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another quick look into Opus 23 Hidden Trials. Today we're going to be covering the Lightning cards, and it may shock you that Lightning got some decent cards this time around. And we're going to go over them and what I think is going to make an impact. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch these and liking the videos. It means a lot to me. So, let's get started. We're going to jump right into... I think Azul, right? Yeah. Azul's pretty good, man. When Azul is dealt damage, choose up to one forward your opponent controls. Deal it the same amount of damage. For a crystal, choose a forward until the end of the turn and gains. This forward must attack once per turn if possible, and Azul gains 2,000 power. So I think it's really honestly, this Azul has been trying to compete with old Adeluma. His previous version did something similar in like packets of 4, I believe. It's like whenever he'd take damage, he would deal 4k. And this one is looking to step that up and adding a crystal ability. So it's a good way to utilize his power, right? Making things run into him as he just gets bigger and bigger. I don't know if making him like he could effectively eat their whole board, right? If they're weak enough. You also have the possibility of just, if you decided to go this right, obviously the long way around would be just have Minwoo out and force him to eat things the whole way. And that's a good way for your opponent to lose forwards. Obviously it doesn't work too much against other things. It's a traditional card. So like things like Refia and Knights, you just dull and freeze him out of the way, or just send him straight to another part of the deck. But I think he's cool. I think he could fit an Ice Lightning in current Ice Lightning lists, like it's a 1 of maybe for pressure. All these Veets got some interesting support as well, between the Russo and then the new Whis. I'm not sure, I think there might have been another one there, but there may be a deck for it, but at the very least he will see some play as a 1 of, and if not in anything else, then maybe some of those spam 4 decks. I know Kieran Aggro has made a surprising comeback on these last couple of LQs and stuff. So as we go into the next set, I think Azul could probably squeeze into a 1 of as a slot in other decks. Next is the Sarah. Sarah we talked about already, but for the potential for this card earlier. We talked about the potential of this card earlier in a previous video, but the field ability like this one is rare in this game, and it has such a larger range than what we've had before. And the S ability is really nice. It just kind of helps keep your opponent back on the back end, and it also helps calculate for any misplays or things you didn't count on. I know a lot of newer players and still have that problem where they don't ask before they attack, and they don't check powers before they attack, and at least this way you still have the option to correct the mistake of yours. But overall, it's just something that can help. I think she's good. I think she'll fit in with the rest of the 13 package. How many we play is a different story, and Sarah's always had several like name clashes, so we'll see how much this one plays a part in the new list. The new Scions are actually really interesting. They're not all good, but they are interesting. So Estinian is nice, and I'm mostly talking about Thancred, Estinian, and the Odyssey, right? The amount of recursion and playability these three has is very good. The 14 suffers from the name clash thing, but I think the trick will be finding a balance between the old and the new to create something amazing. Side note, they're probably just busted in title now. I can't imagine like running into all of these over and over again and then just getting hit with the Exodia card. So that should be fun. But yeah, Estinian's very good. When he attacks, choose one on your break zone, add it to your hand, and then Thancred says when he enters, you break something, and then when he's put from the field of the break zone, you can play a 3 or less in your break zone to play it on the field. So just the first part is continued. The second part, he just has to hit the break zone. So just solid cards. Now the new cadets, I worry about, honestly. They got such nice art from Matsuda here, and they're kind of falling into a weird place. They're definitely not corresponding with what we have for cadets now. The self-milling thing just became good with the FF8 stuff, and I wonder if this is just more of the same, or just something to add into that. That being said, I'm not a fan. I don't think the others. I don't see what is it, King, right? Or let's see, what's her name again? Yeah, it's King and Queen seeing too much play. The Jack could probably have a little home as a 1 of or a 2 of, but then am I really playing this over access? Is the question, and I don't think it is, and I don't think I am, honestly. Edge, we're pretty much done with all the main cards. I thought I wanted to talk about this, but I found myself liking it a little less as I went on from my previous statements. Same thing with this. This is just more Zviets. You know, you can give someone haste, you can give Azul haste, so it's okay, I guess. But the other Scions don't interest me, and yeah, and this monster doesn't interest me either. So we could just move on straight to the limit break stuff. The Edge. Edge is a really cool finisher, man. I'm glad each color has now like a big card, a big limit break card. Last set was Wind, Fire, Water. We didn't see the Wind one too much until, you know, Wind started making a comeback in the meta. But and then this set we have the Earth, Lightning, and Ice one. Edge kind of outshines the others a little, I think, for this set, as it could go into a few different decks, right? Between Lightning Ninjas and anything, you know, in those colors. Usually Lightning Wind, and I don't know if maybe Lightning Fire wants to take advantage of a card like this, even though we wouldn't use too much of the Ninjas, but the Lightning forwards in that regard. The Fires would just supplement the effect damage brought, you know, from the Lightning characters. I know 7k doesn't seem like a lot, but Lightning and both Ninjas have the ability to swarm the field, and in that they're just going to party, get, you know, double apply the 7k, or even First Strike is something that's very common for Lightning characters now, and so they're just going to punch, shoot, and you can't block anyway, right? So the situation that this card is going to set up for you is just, you know, close the game out, kind of like Monteleones did. And then there's the mid game plays where you kind of just want to do that, you know, have this guy come out, set up, deal a few damage, maybe you kill 2 and they don't block the other one, and then you just play another card that says break a damage forward or something like that. And you know, that's something that we have too. Edge has a lot of avenues, I think. I'm confident he will see a lot of play this set. And lastly is the Nyx. This Nyx is a great card. I don't care what anyone says. If a Lightning character or a 15 character you control has been put from the field into the break zone this turn, the cost required to cast Nyx is reduced by 4. He's a 1-drop 9k. That's it. If you do get punished, let's say you're going, you know, the aggressive route, you're gonna attack, get EX burst, something kills you, boom, I'm gonna play this before my turn ends. I'm gonna have a body to block next turn, and if not, I'm still gonna have another forward to attack you next turn as well, on my turn. You're never gonna be left without something. That's it. It's the easiest way to put it, right? He's a solid 1-drop card that's just going to be able to hold like your opponent back, and you can cast easily while still keeping your backups live and keeping the advantage you had already. It almost feels like you don't get punished anymore because you can pay this guy for so cheap. That being said, though, it is a reactive card, right? You got to wait for that stuff to happen. You're in control, you're probably going to mill this guy to play the Cloud or even the Edge or something else. But I think Lightning overall is going to have a much harder time planning out the limit break slots with such good cards this time around. But yeah, I think that's it. That's it for Lightning. I'm not a big fan of the Odin, like I said. There's less honorable mentions as we get through these colors, I think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about Lightning this set. It's pretty like I said, some of these will shock you, but it has some good ones, but there's also a lot of fodder in between here. Like, why another Mog 13-2? Come on, give me another Mog. I'm sure there's more than one Mog in that game. But yeah, guys, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.